Hello. I need to get a new intro. I'm back with a pop filter this time. Upgrades, people, upgrades. If somehow you've seen the existence of my last video, you'll have seen an almost hour-long mess. I don't like it, and thought, hey, what if I just condense it down to like a 5 to 10 minute video instead? You know, like the 5-minute summary I did at the end. So for context, because odds are almost no one has seen my last video pop up in their feed, seen it and didn't watch it because it's an hour long from some no-name guy on the internet, didn't watch the whole thing, or because more than likely, I didn't make it unlisted till I got this video almost done. It's still unlisted as I'm recording this. The video I'm talking about is my ear tier list video, which was more of a way to separate them into groups so that we could see how many ears they had, as in animal ears, human ears, both, or, because it happened, none. By doing this, I was hoping to see any trends emerge. If any races had a preference to one or the other, if gender had an effect, or the like. 40 have animal ears, 40 could plausibly have 4 ears, 6 have implied human ears with animal ears, 18 can confirm 4 ears, 84 have human/human-like ears, 7 fall into an unsure category, 3 of them being robots, and the others we'll talk about. I will start with the last group because I feel it contributes the least to the topic at hand. First off, the robots are, well, robots and don't have ears in the normal sense, so I didn't have a place for them. Sora has several theories about her, so I chose not to take a side and leave her here. Now, Firewatch and Papa Car are interesting because in the art I've seen of them, they have no ears. You could make a point that Papa Car's are floppy bunny ears tucked under her hat, and or her human ears are covered by her hair. Nothing is mentioned in her files either, therefore I put her here. Firewatch is the most intriguing one here. You can see the side of her head very clearly in several shots. You get a good shot from the front to see if she has earlobes. Her hair is pulled back into a ponytail, which would be strange to pull her hair over her ears. In her E2 art, you could say the bangs, would you call them bangs? That bit of hair is covering her human ears. But then in her verified scan, you get a look at the same spot, though her hair is let down. Leading us to her winter skin, where you cannot see earlobes, though you should be able to. I don't know what to think of this personally, and I don't really care too much. It's just one outlier. It's not that bad. Lastly, Ethan is here because I couldn't decide whether his ears looked more human or more animal. Because of the fact that he's a chameleon, I would say he should probably be in the human ears category, but he's also like partially furry, which would probably throw him into the animal ears category. Oh well. Next, I'll do a quick overview of human ears. A lot of people are in this category, so I will say in very general terms, if they are a bird, fish, lizard, or mythical creature, they are here. The ones that stand out to me are Croissant and Vulcan. They're Minos, and both female at that. More on that later. Mayor and Antony, and with a quick Google search, tells me something's not right here, and maybe, and most likely, a mistranslated Antony, an extinct genus of weasel. So you could say that counts as a mythical creature. The last one I want to talk about is Scene. Now, sloth ears kind of look like human ears, not gonna lie here. A case could be made, since you can't see her ears in her art, that she has sloth ears. Just gonna leave that there though. Now for 4 ears, this one is the smallest category. Very few operators that I could say for sure have 4 ears. That's all I'll say on the matter. Implied is an interesting one that I've made some mistakes in. Frostleaf and April are the biggest two that I was thinking of when I made this category. They have headphones that would go over human ears. Same as Neural and Jessica. Now Jay is the one person who I'm unsure of if he should be in this category. I even said that at the end of my list. He could have a strap that he would hook the mask loops onto that would let him pull it down like in his art. He also rests as an outlier in the Ursus theory. More on that later. Beagle has glasses that are made to hang on the top of her ears. Odds are they hang on the top of human ears. Plausible covered by hair is the next category. It's smaller than I thought it'd be and mostly just stands as the category of I can't tell, I'ma put them here. Last one is animal ears. I'll quick talk about Beagle here, because you'll see Mirth and FE Eater both have glasses like Beagle, but Mirth's and FE Eater's rest on their nose and look like they wrap around their head, respectively. Also, Cardigan has goggles, which wouldn't need to rest on ears. Now, I also made a rule for this category that if they're furry, they ended up in here. Otherwise, it's mostly based on ear position. If they had human ears, and then they'd just end up being on top of the animal ears, or their hair length was too short, so you'd be able to see them normally, and pretty much anything and the like. So that covers the tiers, and why I made them the way I did, and some general reasons why each one is the way it is, along with some changes that I'm too lazy to remake the tier list for, along with new operators. So now comes the fun part. The last 5 minutes of my tier list video spread out to insert time here. Long. I'm going to kick this off easy with family groups. The two big blood families at Rhode Island are the Silverash family and the Neural family. I'll start with the Neural family. Blemishine is an easy example of 4 ears. You can see it clear as day, and her older sister Neural is implied. Mjolnir, I think I butchered that one, also has 4 ears. With this in mind, Willslash has 4 ears even though you cannot see it, and I would say she should be moved into the 4-ear category. The Silverash family is tricky and debatable. I looked at Silverash and thought, yeah, I could be his little brother-in-law. Then I started looking for ears. It was hard to tell, but my gut said no. Then I spent 5 minutes trying to figure out how Cliffheart shades stay outside of her hair, but placed perfectly parallel with the bottom of her animal ears. Like her sprite keeps them perfectly level at all times. And then I gave up. I was not sure if they had only animal ears or not, and that's what I put them on the tier list. What I can say, though, is I spent more time looking at those shades than the developers did, thinking, wouldn't it be cool if she had shades? With this in mind, I decided to keep with my gut and say the whole family only has animal ears. The point of this bit is to say that it's mostly hereditary, the number of ears a person has and which ones they are. A small aside, the Rat King has animal ears, and so does his daughter. Chen has human ears, and her uncle has animal ears, though this is the only split I've seen so far. Though Tallulah's ears are most likely human because her uncle's ears are just simply too big to hide. This could be because she's also mixed with a Draco, and the only other Draco we have has human ears. But this is all theoretical because we don't know what their mother and father looks like. So on to the next thing, race differences. Now it seems most races have people in all 3 categories. There are some exceptions. First, I'll exclude all birds, fish, lizards, and mythical creatures. As I said before, they fall into the human ears categories, and the only exceptions inside of them are all fully furry. The ones I want to talk about are the Caprinae, Forte, Ursus, Elefia, and Caranta. The Caranta have an overwhelming tendency to have 4 ears, with almost all the NPCs having easy to see 4 ears. I already talked about the Neural family, but Platinum and V's look like they have animal ears only. V's hair starts at the side of his head, where his ears would be. The Elefia have 2 ears commonly, human or animal, while horn seems to be the common shared trait. So I will say Firewatch most likely has human ears, and the art just makes it hard to see them. God, at this rate, with how in-depth I'm going, I'm going to be known as the ear guy. Oh well. Alina is a good example of horns with animal ears, while most NPCs who are Elefia have horns and human ears. Ursus is one where I take a bit of leap of faith. So from what I put together as a theory is that they only have animal ears, but I will say that I came from this from a very biased look, and I feel the point could be debated, and I'm willing to change if any hard evidence comes to light. The only one you get a good look at the side of the head of is FE Eater. The hair is pulled back tightly so you can maybe hide her ears behind her bangs, but I feel like you'd see the edge of the ears at that case. Off of this and a gut feeling, I put them all in the animal ears. The others are in a very common situation where all of them you just don't get a good look at the side of the head, and their hair is just long enough to cover their ears. Ah yes, Forte, that's a fun one. So all Forte have 2 ears and horns. Now there's a heavy bias towards males having animal ears and females having human ears. Comically, Forte is one of the most evenly split gender-wise of all the operators, and has more male representation in the story when you include them with the male operators. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Now, the exception of this, because there's always an exception, is Mommy Milk. Sidroka. She has animal ears. Oh, thank you, Paulus, for coming out after I wrote this script. There goes that theory. Caprine, the race that consists of the most best girls in this game. Now to the point, they all have animal ears, with either short hair to be able to easily see their ears, or sheep ears where their human ones would be. Hell, the NPCs even back this up, having animal ears where their human ones would be. Small aside, I did not play Twilight of Wonderman and used Arknights toolbox to look at all the NPCs, so I don't know what they were called. If I'm wrong, then I just had no idea at all what they were called, but they look like Caprine to me. Also, while I was writing this, Benna came out, and of course, say it with me, an exception. Gender did not play as much of a role as I could see. The only point I can make is that most furries are male, and that would make them have more animal ears, but I feel that's more the developer selling to the market. But who knows? Maybe it's just more common for males to be furry and have animal ears. So this is all the info I put together. I have some other small things, but they're mostly like, oh, this race is well mixed, or this one slightly tends to have blank. But I feel so often that it all falls into the plausible category, and I don't really have any confidence in it. If this video gets around somehow and people want to see it, I'll try to make something out of it, but I don't think it's going to happen. Like, I thought up the idea of this on April 6th. It took me a month to do the list, then a month to make that video, and odds are a month to get my music set up. And after all that, so it's June 25th at the time of finishing writing the script, and it's now July 12th now, because it just went past midnight, because that's the time I'm recording the script. So as you can see, this takes me way too long to do this. The fact is, I was trying to think of something to do for Kaiser MLG's video contest, but I couldn't think of anything. It was either too simple and I didn't like it, or it was too long and I wouldn't be able to do it in the time. You know, like right now. But either way, I don't have much free time to really do this stuff, so I didn't want to take up the spot for someone who actually wanted to make YouTube a career too. But who knows? Maybe with my production value, I may have made it in. Or probably not. I suck at editing. But either way, I have an idea for another video that I'm going to plan for late December. So that way when I miss it, at least I gave myself 6 months. Oh well. I really do like the lore in this game, and I really would like to try to make more videos about stuff like that, but who knows. Thank you all again, if you're somehow still watching this and you like my rambling, but I'm gonna cut it now.